How do you feel about PSVita?
Well, first off, it's a nice bit of equipment. You've got two touchscreens on it. So that's obviously different from the first PSP. You've got two joysticks now, which make it a lot easier to play, let's say, first-person shooters and stuff like that. It's a nice size console because obviously, the PSP Go was very small and I couldn't play that properly. This feels very comfortable in my hands, especially for games like FIFA and Ninja Gaiden. So yeah, that's how I feel. I feel it's a better piece of equipment than the PSP.
So when it comes to a PS3 console and it comes to PS Vita, which one would you prefer?
PS3 or PS Vita?
Yeah.
PS3 all the way, but obviously because I can't take the PS3 with me and play it like on the bus or the train, the PS Vita is straight off the bat.
So what would you say is your favourite game on PS Vita?
For what you can do with the PS Vita, because you've got the two touch screens and the buttons and stuff like that, probably Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus, which came out on launch title, only because it seems so much easier to actually use both touch screens instead of a game like Uncharted where you're constantly holding it at different angles, whereas with Ninja Gaiden, I'm just kind of holding it like this. So if I needed to do like a magic spell, I would just tap to the back screen like that, and it doesn't make me have to kind of hold it at different angles. Whereas with Uncharted, I'm kind of having to do that and that. That's something that just feels uncomfortable. So far, Ninja Gaiden is pretty good.
So what would you say is the best feature of PS Vita?
The touchscreens. Just because, let's say for a game like FIFA, if I get a free kick, I'm deadly with the free kicks. I'll bang it into a corner easy.
And is the graphics, would you say, is better from the last PS3?
10 times better. Like, I would definitely go down and say that it is probably PlayStation 2.8. Not PlayStation 3 like it was announced. Like everyone's like, no, it looks like PlayStation 3. Probably about 2.8. Okay, first off, very similar to the original PSP. We've got the the left analog stick underneath the D-pad. One of the main differences as well is that it's now got the home button at the front of the PSP instead of on the side where it used to be. Another difference is that you've got a second analog stick, which people were complaining about because they did release some first-person shooters on the PSP, but it didn't feel natural to play it on the PSP just because you didn't have the right analog stick to turn around and like look up and down. Another, some more functions that they've added to the Vita as well is the two touchscreens. So at the front, you've got the main touchscreen that you'll use to play most of your games like FIFA, Uncharted, and Reality Fighters. And on the back, you've got the other touchscreen that again, for Uncharted and FIFA, but on FIFA, you could imagine that that's like the goal and you can tap anywhere on the back of the touchscreen to try and shoot into the goal. And on Uncharted, it's to turn puzzles around. It's also got the two shoulder buttons like the PSP as well. The volume buttons have now moved up to the top instead of at the bottom where they used to be. And the memory card goes in here instead of where the battery was on the PSP. Another thing that they did change was the game sizes. Instead of being those massive UMDs, which failed miserably, they now use these little memory cards.
What are the top games in each genre?
The four main genres on PS Vita right now: RPGs, racing, sports, and fighting games. So in the RPGs, there's not much out yet. Like there is Dungeon Hunter, but probably the one that everyone is looking out for is this game 3, which comes out on the 20th of April this year. You've got in fighting, you've got Reality Fighters, sports, obviously FIFA, and racing. Even though Ridge Racer did come out, my favourite one right now is Wipeout 2084.
So what's your experiences with playing this game?
Well, I have played it on other consoles before. Like, I think the first time that I played it was on the Sega Saturn, so way back when. And obviously since then I have been a fan of it, but then I kind of fell off the wagon when the PlayStation 3 came out just because you had Gran Turismo 5 and stuff like that. On the Vita, it actually feels and plays quite well. Like with the Vita as well, that's another thing I forgot to mention. They do have the 6-axis control in here, so you can use the whole gyro technology. So if you're racing, you tilt it to the left, well, hovercraft will tilt it to the left as well, or to the right. It kind of helps going around those wild corners. Yeah, so far it is playing like I remember it playing like on the Saturn and on PlayStation 2.
Out of a 10-star rating, what would you give Wi-Fi?
I'd have to give it, I'd say a 7.5 star rating, just because it is one of the first racing games out on the Vita, so it is still, you're still trying to get used to the technology of the Vita with the game. As much as it was built with the technology in mind, there are a few issues here and there, but other than that, it does play quite well. I think if they do release a new one of it, like a 2100 version of it, then it'll probably move up to about 8 or 9 star rating.